Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about an expansion to Prehistories, and this is Prehistories Evolutions. This is designed by Alexandra Emerald, Benoit Turnpin, and is published by 25th Century Games in partnership with the Flying Games.
You guys, this is, if you were watching our channel, we have already reviewed Prehistories. I will put a link to that review below if you haven't watched that yet, so it kind of gives you a base idea of how to play the game. So because this is an expansion, I'm not going to teach you guys how to play this, and on top of that, it's got kind of a campaign style thing going through this game. There's 4 envelopes inside this box, and each one of them reveals new mechanisms and new components. And so I'm not going to show you guys what those are. I'm going to do this spoiler free as much as I can. So I'm not going to teach you guys how to play. So go back, watch Prehistories, and we will give you a flavor of what's going on here, but we will not spoil anything, so you can explore it for yourself.
Yeah, so it was really funny because I was like, you know what, we're going to have this huge review stack. I'll just take some games to work, and I'll learn some of the rules on my lunch, and then I'll bring it back, and you open it up, and there's this sheet that I was like, the rules are in each envelope. I'm like, well, Ryan can't help you. We're going to have to learn this one together.
And learn it on the fly as we go.
Learn it on the fly. So I really liked this game when with each envelope, there's like a little base story to introduce what's happening and the new mechanisms and the new cards that you get. And I really, really liked that. And I liked that it did 2 things. The 2 things that it did. And the first thing that it did was it helped you understand what this new mechanism was. You didn't have to refer to it afterwards because that little bit of story just really made sense to what they were doing. And then 2, it wasn't a lot. That little bit of story was enough to have you intrigued, but it didn't bog down what was happening. It's not like they're trying to write this book. They just have a little bit of backstory for the new mechanism, and then you go. So I like the way that that was blended together, that it helped you understand the new mechanism, but it also had this fun story behind it at the same time without being too much.
Yeah, so these are envelopes numbered 1 through 4, and what we recommend is, and what they recommend also, is the first time through, just go through and play the base game with number 1. And then take out the number 1 stuff, play the base game with number 2. And keep on going until you've played all 4 scenarios isolated with the base game.
Yeah.
And then, after all that is said and done, then what you can do is you can kind of pick and pull and choose different parts of all the different modules that are in the box to kind of custom make your own versions of Prehistories.
Yeah.
So, you can pull stuff from number 1 and number 4 together. You can pull out, a little bit of number 2. You can use all the characters from all the different things, So I think that's a really great way to kind of introduce you to each little part of it, kind of isolate it, see what's great about each individual thing, and then when you're all said and done, you have your own kind of tailor-made version that you can, of course, still keep on changing, that's custom-made to your preferences and your play style. And like Bethany mentioned, too, there's a rule book in each one, so you learn each one as it happens, and they're all really bite-sized, right? You're not overwhelmed by any one of the envelopes by themselves. But if you try to throw all 4 of them together at the same time, that might overwhelm you.
Yeah. Another thing that it did with this game, which I enjoyed, was in the base game I also liked, but you can kind of be willy-nilly about what you're putting out there, about your hunting parties that you're sending out. But in this game, you just can't. You really have to think about what you're doing because of how the board is interacting with your cards and how your cards are interacting with the board, just slightly different this way of the modules that you can put in place. So you have to be a lot more strategic about who you're sending out there and when you're sending them out there and and the places that you're sending them out there. So that was fun. I like how they did that. And it wasn't it was so much more that all of a sudden I couldn't play the game and it completely changed the game. It wasn't like that at all. But you just had to be a lot more intentional about your hunting parties when you sent them out.
Yeah, you guys, if you like Prehistories and you're looking for a little bit more, there's mouth-watering for a little bit more Prehistories than what you had originally, this gives it to you. It gives you a whole lot of new options, new characters to work with, new places to go on the board, new tiles to look at, but again, with a reveal kind of spoon-fed to you as well. So if you're looking for Prehistories with more, I would recommend checking out Evolutions. This was a whole lot of fun. We enjoyed it. I don't ever see us playing Prehistories without at least one of the modules mixed in from ever again.
It is a part of the game now. It definitely added to the game without bogging it down, which is something that you're always looking for with expansions. If you like a game and you want to add more to it, you don't want to feel like you're drowning in all the newness, right? And they did a great job of just adding these little bits of things to where it was engaging and it was fun. It didn't change the game at all. The game is still the game while just well, just adding more to make it an even more enjoyable experience. So this is definitely one, like Ryan said, if you like Prehistories, definitely check this out. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. You can also follow us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.